Question 1. A project team is nearing the completion of a critical software module, but persistent quality issues, despite several rounds of testing and bug fixes, threaten the delivery deadline. The project manager notes that the team is spending an increasing amount of time debugging and retesting, leading to schedule slippage. Which of the following approaches should the project manager prioritize to address the declining quality and ensure timely delivery? A. Implement an aggressive overtime schedule for the development team to fix defects faster. B. Renegotiate the delivery deadline with the client, emphasizing the team's dedication to quality. C. Conduct a root cause analysis of the recurring defects with the team and implement process improvements. D. Reduce the scope of the current module to meet the deadline, deferring some features to a later phase. Answer: C. Conduct a root cause analysis of the recurring defects with the team and implement process improvements. When recurring quality issues threaten delivery, the most effective long-term solution is to understand why they are happening rather than just treating symptoms. Conducting a root cause analysis with the team helps identify the underlying problems in the development process, such as unclear requirements or inadequate testing procedures, which can then be addressed through process improvements. This proactive approach not only resolves current defects but also prevents similar issues in the future, ultimately improving delivery efficiency and quality. Focusing on fixing the process, not just the output, is key to sustainable project success. Question 2. During the execution phase of a hybrid project, the team discovers a critical technical dependency on an external vendor's deliverable that is now significantly delayed. This delay jeopardizes the project's ability to meet its upcoming milestone, which was planned using a traditional waterfall approach. What is the project manager's most appropriate immediate action regarding the delivery timeline? A. Accelerate the remaining internal tasks by assigning more resources to compensate for the external delay. B. Formally update the project schedule to reflect the new external delivery date and notify all stakeholders. C. Collaborate with the vendor to understand the root cause of the delay and explore potential mitigation strategies. D. Invoke the project's change control process to revise the project scope and milestone dates. Answer: C. Collaborate with the vendor to understand the root cause of the delay and explore potential mitigation strategies. When a critical external dependency is delayed, the project manager's immediate priority is to actively engage with the vendor to understand the precise nature and reasons for the delay, rather than assuming the worst or taking unilateral action. Collaborating with the vendor allows for the exploration of mitigation strategies, such as partial deliveries, temporary workarounds, or expedited shipping, which might reduce or eliminate the impact on the project's milestone. Only after thoroughly understanding the situation and exhausting all mitigation options should the project manager consider formal schedule updates or change requests. Proactive communication and problem-solving with external parties are crucial for maintaining delivery flow. Question 3. An Agile team has just completed their 5th sprint, and during the sprint review, stakeholders express concern that while individual features are functional, the overall integration across different modules is not as seamless as expected, leading to a suboptimal user experience. The product owner believes the definition of done, DoD, was consistently met for each feature. What should the team and product owner consider adjusting to improve future delivery quality? A. Expand the scope of future sprints to include more comprehensive integration testing time. B. Add end-to-end user acceptance testing to the definition of done. C. Create a separate integration sprint dedicated solely to merging and testing all modules. D. Increase the number of dedicated quality assurance testers on the team. Answer: B. Add end-to-end user acceptance testing to the definition of done. The definition of done, DoD, is a critical Agile concept that ensures all necessary activities are completed before a feature is considered finished, impacting the quality and readiness of deliverables. If stakeholders perceive integration issues despite individual features being done, it indicates that the current DoD is insufficient and doesn't encompass the full scope of quality needed for a seamless user experience. By incorporating end-to-end user acceptance testing into the DoD, the team commits to performing this level of integration and validation for every feature, ensuring higher quality and better integration with each increment. This proactive adjustment strengthens the team's commitment to delivering truly integrated, usable value. Question 4. A large-scale infrastructure project, currently in its execution phase, is experiencing significant cost overruns primarily due to unexpected material price increases and labor shortages. The project manager has already utilized contingency reserves and now faces potential budget depletion before project completion. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager to take next regarding the project's delivery? A. Request additional funding from the sponsor, presenting the current budget variance report. B. Perform a detailed re-estimation of remaining work packages to establish a new estimate at completion, EAC. C. Initiate a formal change request to descope less critical project features to reduce overall costs. D. Communicate the severe budget constraints to all stakeholders and explain the potential impacts on delivery. Answer. B. Perform a detailed re-estimation of remaining work packages to establish a new estimate at completion, EAC. When a project faces significant cost overruns and contingency reserves are depleted, the project manager's priority shifts from just managing the current variance to accurately forecasting the project's final cost. Performing a detailed re-estimation of remaining work packages, using actual costs incurred and revised estimates for future work, allows for the establishment of a robust estimate at completion, EAC. This re-baseline forecast provides a realistic financial outlook for the project's delivery, enabling informed decisions by the project manager and stakeholders regarding potential funding requests, scope adjustments, or other necessary interventions to ensure project completion. Accurately knowing where you stand financially is crucial before deciding what to do next. Question 5. In a predictive project, the project team is diligently working on developing various deliverables. The project manager receives a report from quality control indicating a significant number of defects in a recently completed deliverable that has passed initial internal testing. This high defect rate suggests a potential systemic issue. What is the project manager's primary responsibility in addressing this situation related to delivery quality? A. Assign additional resources to retest and fix the defective deliverable quickly to avoid schedule delays. B. Notify the client about the quality issues and propose a revised delivery timeline for the affected deliverable. C. Convene a meeting with the quality assurance team to review the testing process and improve defect detection. D. Conduct a root cause analysis to understand the underlying reasons for the defects and implement corrective actions. Answer. D. Conduct a root cause analysis to understand the underlying reasons for the defects and implement corrective actions. When a significant number of defects are identified in a deliverable, especially after initial internal testing, it indicates a deeper issue beyond just individual errors. It points to a potential flaw in the process itself. The project manager's core responsibility is to not merely fix the symptoms by retesting or reassigning resources, but to address the root cause of these defects. Performing a root cause analysis helps identify where and why the defects are originating, enabling the implementation of effective corrective actions that prevent recurrence and ensure higher quality deliverables in the future. This proactive approach significantly improves the efficiency and quality of subsequent project deliveries. Question 6. A project team is using a Kanban board to manage its workflow. During the daily stand-up, the team notices that several tasks are consistently piling up in the testing column, leading to a bottleneck. New tasks are still being pulled into development at a regular pace. What action should the team prioritize to improve their delivery flow? A. Increase the work in progress (WIP) limit for the testing column to accommodate more tasks. B. Have developers assist with testing tasks until the bottleneck is cleared. C. Stop pulling new tasks into development until the testing column is less congested. D. Reassign the most complex testing tasks to external quality assurance specialists. Answer. C. Stop pulling new tasks into development until the testing column is less congested. In a Kanban system, the primary goal is to optimize flow and minimize bottlenecks, which are often indicated by tasks piling up in a particular column. The principle of stop starting, start finishing is paramount in Kanban. When a bottleneck occurs, pulling more work into preceding stages, development, only exacerbates the problem downstream. The most effective action is to stop initiating new work and instead focus the team's collective efforts on clearing the existing bottleneck in testing. This reduces work in progress, WIP, at the bottleneck, promotes faster cycle times, and ultimately improves the overall delivery flow. Question 7. A project team is working on developing a new product, and the product owner is struggling to define precise, upfront requirements due to evolving market conditions. The team is concerned about potentially developing features that may not provide maximum value to the customer later on. To address this, which delivery approach should be emphasized? A. Implement a phased delivery approach, releasing minimum viable products, MVPs, frequently for early feedback. B. Freeze requirements after the initial planning phase to provide stability for the development team. C. Conduct extensive market research and focus groups upfront to define all requirements comprehensively. D. Utilize a traditional waterfall approach with strict change control to manage any requirement shifts. Answer: A. Implement a phased delivery approach, releasing minimum viable products, MVPs, frequently for early feedback. When requirements are uncertain or subject to change due to dynamic market conditions, a predictive approach with upfront, fixed requirements becomes highly risky regarding value delivery. Instead, an agile, phased delivery approach, emphasizing the release of minimum viable products, MVPs, is most appropriate. MVPs are small, functional increments of a product that can be quickly developed and released to gain early user feedback, allowing the team to validate assumptions and iteratively refine requirements based on real-world usage. This approach maximizes the probability of delivering features that provide the most value by adapting to evolving understanding. Question 8. During a weekly project status meeting, the project manager notices that the earned value, EV, for the current period is significantly lower than the planned value, PV, and the Cost Performance Index, CPI, is 0.85, while the Schedule Performance Index, SPI, is 0.90. The project is halfway through its planned duration. What is the most pressing concern for the project manager regarding the project's delivery performance? A. The project is behind schedule and over budget, indicating potential delays and cost overruns. B. The team is underperforming, and resources may need to be reallocated or augmented. C. The quality of deliverables might be compromised due to accelerated work. D. The initial estimates were inaccurate, requiring a full rebaselining of the project. Answer: A. The project is behind schedule and over budget, indicating potential delays and cost overruns. Earned Value Management, EVM, is a crucial tool for monitoring project performance and forecasting future delivery. A CPI of 0.85, less than 1.0, indicates that the project is getting only 85 cents worth of work for every $1 spent, meaning it is over budget. An SPI of 0.90, less than 1.0, indicates that the project is progressing at only 90% of the planned rate, meaning it is behind schedule. The combination of both indices being less than 1.0 is the most pressing concern, as it directly signals that the project is simultaneously experiencing cost overruns and schedule delays, which are critical threats to its successful delivery. Understanding these metrics helps predict the project's final outcome. Question 9. An organization is undertaking a strategic initiative to develop a new online service. The project manager is concerned about the readiness of key operational teams to adopt and support the new service once it is delivered. What activities should the project manager prioritize to ensure a smooth transition and successful delivery of the service? A. Develop a comprehensive marketing plan to promote the new service to potential users. B. Conduct extensive user acceptance testing, UAT, with a diverse group of end users. C. Involve operational stakeholders early and consistently in defining requirements and reviewing progress. D. Create a detailed training program for end users on how to use the new service. Answer: C. Involve operational stakeholders early and consistently in defining requirements and reviewing progress. Successful project delivery extends beyond merely producing the outputs. It encompasses the smooth adoption and ongoing support of the final product or service within the operational environment. To ensure operational readiness and a seamless transition, the project manager should actively involve key operational stakeholders from the very beginning. Their early input in defining requirements ensures the product aligns with their operational needs, and their consistent involvement in reviewing progress fosters ownership and prepares them for eventual delivery and support. This continuous engagement helps identify and resolve potential operational hurdles proactively, leading to a more successful and sustainable delivery outcome. Question 10. A complex engineering project, utilizing a predictive life cycle, has completed its design phase, and the team is now deeply involved in the construction and fabrication work. Midway through, a new regulation is enacted that mandates a significant change to the material specifications for a core component, which was already ordered and partially installed. What is the project manager's best course of action to ensure project delivery complies with the new regulation? A. Cease all work on the affected component immediately and inform the regulatory body of the non-compliance. B. Immediately procure the new compliant materials and direct the team to replace the non-compliant components. C. Engage the integrated change control process to formally assess the impact of the new regulation on scope, schedule, and cost. D. Seek a temporary exemption from the new regulation, explaining the impact on the ongoing project. Answer: C. Engage the integrated change control process to formally assess the impact of the new regulation on scope, schedule, and cost. In a predictive project, the integrated change control process is fundamental for managing any alteration to the project baselines, especially significant external mandates like new regulations. Upon learning of a new regulation affecting a core component, the project manager's primary responsibility is not to react impulsively but to systematically analyze the situation. Engaging the change control process ensures that the impact on all project baselines, scope, schedule, cost, quality, and risks is thoroughly assessed, stakeholder communication is managed, and appropriate, informed decisions are made and approved before implementing changes to the project's delivery. This structured approach minimizes disruption and ensures compliance while maintaining project control. Question 11. An Agile project team has completed several sprints, consistently delivering working software. However, the product owner observes that while features are being added, the underlying code quality is deteriorating, leading to increased complexity and slower development velocity in subsequent sprints. This indicates a growing technical debt. What action should the project team prioritize to maintain long-term delivery capability? A. Dedicate a full sprint specifically to refactoring and improving code quality. B. Negotiate with the product owner to allocate a portion of each sprint to address technical debt. C. Document the technical debt and plan to address it in a separate post-delivery phase. D. Hire additional developers to help alleviate the burden of complex code. Answer: B. Negotiate with the product owner to allocate a portion of each sprint to address technical debt. Technical debt, if unaddressed, significantly impedes an Agile team's ability to deliver value efficiently in the long run by making future development slower and more error-prone. While dedicating a full sprint to technical debt might seem appealing, it can delay new feature delivery and value realization. The most sustainable approach for continuous delivery capability is to proactively manage technical debt by integrating its resolution into regular sprint work. This means negotiating with the product owner to allocate a small, consistent portion of capacity in each sprint for refactoring, improving code quality, and other technical debt reduction efforts, balancing new feature development with system health. Question 12. A global project team, distributed across multiple time zones, is struggling with coordinating delivery activities. Daily stand-ups are difficult to schedule, and information flow about task progress and impediments is often delayed, leading to rework and missed dependencies. Which strategy would best improve the delivery performance for this distributed team? A. Mandate that all team members adjust their working hours to overlap more significantly. B. Implement a robust digital collaboration platform and encourage asynchronous communication. C. Increase the frequency of formal project reporting to ensure information is consistently shared. D. Assign a dedicated communication coordinator to each geographic region. Answer: B. Implement a robust digital collaboration platform and encourage asynchronous communication. For distributed teams, especially those across multiple time zones, reliance on synchronous communication like daily stand-ups can be highly inefficient and lead to communication breakdowns. To improve delivery performance, the project manager should leverage technology to facilitate effective asynchronous communication and information sharing. Implementing a robust digital collaboration platform, example shared wikis, online Kanban boards, persistent chat tools, allows team members to update progress, log impediments, and share information at their convenience, ensuring continuous information flow regardless of time zone differences. This enables the team to maintain transparency and address issues promptly, enhancing delivery coordination. Question 13. During a project's execution, a key stakeholder repeatedly requests minor adjustments to a user interface element that has already been developed, tested, and approved. These requests are small but frequent, consuming significant team effort and causing minor delays. The project manager wants to maintain stakeholder satisfaction without jeopardizing the delivery schedule. What is the most appropriate action? A. Implement a strict change freeze for all user interface elements. B. Engage the stakeholder to understand the underlying need and bundle future adjustments into a single, scheduled iteration. C. Inform the stakeholder that changes can only be accommodated after the project's completion. D. Direct the team to implement each requested change immediately to ensure stakeholder satisfaction. Answer: B. Engage the stakeholder to understand the underlying need and bundle future adjustments into a single, scheduled iteration. Frequent, small changes can lead to scope creep and schedule delays, even if individually minor, disrupting project delivery. To manage this effectively while maintaining stakeholder satisfaction, the project manager should first engage the stakeholder to understand the broader context or underlying need behind these iterative requests. Once understood, the project manager can then work with the stakeholder to consolidate these adjustments and schedule them for implementation in a planned future iteration or release. This approach manages expectations, allows for structured updates, and prevents continuous disruption to the current delivery increment, balancing flexibility with stability. Question 14. A project team is developing a complex system, and while individual components are passing unit tests, integration testing reveals critical incompatibilities that require significant rework. This pattern suggests a lack of clarity in how components should fit together. Which Agile practice, if consistently applied, would most effectively mitigate this issue during the delivery phase? A. Regular backlog refinement sessions. B. Conducting comprehensive sprint reviews. C. Emphasizing continuous integration and frequent small releases. D. Holding daily stand-up meetings. Answer: C. Emphasizing continuous integration and frequent small releases. In complex system development, integration issues are common, especially when components are developed in isolation. The most effective Agile practice to mitigate this during the delivery phase is continuous integration, coupled with frequent small releases. Continuous integration means that developers regularly merge their code changes into a shared repository, and automated builds and tests are run to detect integration errors early. By integrating frequently and making small, incremental releases, the team catches compatibility issues much sooner, when they are easier and less costly to fix, preventing them from snowballing into significant rework and improving overall delivery flow and quality. Question 15. The project manager of a construction project receives an urgent notification that a critical component, essential for the next phase of delivery, will be delayed by several weeks due to unforeseen supply chain disruptions. This delay directly impacts the critical path. What is the project manager's primary immediate action regarding the project schedule? A. Immediately update the project schedule with the new delay and notify all stakeholders. B. Convene an urgent meeting with the procurement team and suppliers to explore expedited shipping options or alternative vendors. C. Shift resources from other project activities to accelerate the remaining tasks of the affected phase. D. Initiate a change request to formally descope the critical component to minimize the overall project delay. Answer: B. Convene an urgent meeting with the procurement team and suppliers to explore expedited shipping options or alternative vendors. When a critical component on the project's critical path faces a significant delay, the project manager's immediate priority is to actively mitigate the impact rather than simply accepting the delay. Convening an urgent meeting with the procurement team and suppliers is crucial for brainstorming and exploring all possible mitigation strategies, such as expedited shipping, identifying alternative vendors, or even redesigning elements to use different components. This proactive problem-solving aims to minimize or even eliminate the schedule delay. Only after exhausting these options and determining the true unavoidable impact should the project manager proceed with formal schedule updates and stakeholder communications. Question 16. A project team has adopted a predictive approach for developing a new internal system. Midway through the execution phase, the team identifies a better, more efficient technology that could significantly reduce future maintenance costs and improve system performance, but it would require a substantial rework of already completed modules. What is the project manager's most appropriate action regarding this discovery and its potential impact on delivery? A. Dismiss the new technology as it would cause too much disruption to the current project plan. B. Halt development and immediately begin redesigning based on the new technology. C. Evaluate the proposed technology change through the integrated change control process, including a cost-benefit analysis. D. Implement the new technology for all future modules but keep existing modules as they are. Answer: C. Evaluate the proposed technology change through the integrated change control process, including a cost-benefit analysis. In a predictive project, any significant deviation from the approved baseline, such as adopting a new technology that impacts completed work, must be managed through the integrated change control process. This process ensures that the potential benefits, like reduced maintenance costs and improved performance, are thoroughly weighed against the costs, rework, schedule delays, additional expenses, and risks. By conducting a formal cost-benefit analysis as part of this process, the project manager can make an informed decision with stakeholder input, ensuring that the chosen path optimizes value delivery without blindly disrupting the project's current trajectory. This structured approach maintains control over the project's delivery. Question 17. The project manager for an Agile software development project notices that the team's velocity has been consistently declining over the last 3 sprints, even though the team composition and backlog size have remained stable. Team members report feeling overwhelmed and unable to complete their committed sprint backlog items. What should be the project manager's primary focus to improve the team's delivery performance? A. Encourage the team to commit to fewer story points in upcoming sprints. B. Conduct a retrospective specifically focused on identifying the root causes of the declining velocity and team impediments. C. Implement stricter time tracking for individual tasks to identify underperforming team members. D. Assign more resources to the team to help them complete their sprint backlog. Answer: B. Conduct a retrospective specifically focused on identifying the root causes of the declining velocity and team impediments. In Agile, declining velocity often signals underlying issues within the team's process or environment, and the retrospective is the primary mechanism for continuous improvement. Rather than simply reducing commitments or blaming individuals, the project manager should facilitate a retrospective to allow the team to collectively identify the root causes of their declining performance, such as technical debt, unresolved blockers, communication issues, or external distractions. By addressing these impediments collaboratively, the team can implement process improvements that lead to sustainable increases in velocity and better delivery performance. This empowers the team to solve their own problems. Question 18. A product delivery team is engaged in an Agile project, frequently releasing small increments to production. The product owner expresses frustration because while new features are continuously delivered, significant user interface inconsistencies are emerging across different parts of the application. This makes the overall user experience disjointed. What should the team do to address this issue and improve consistency in delivery? A. Prioritize a large refactoring sprint to standardize the entire user interface. B. Incorporate user interface guidelines and design reviews into their definition of done. C. Increase the frequency of user acceptance testing with external users. D. Assign a dedicated UX designer to enforce consistency after development. Answer: B. Incorporate user interface guidelines and design reviews into their definition of done. User interface inconsistencies arise when the team doesn't have a shared, enforced understanding of what constitutes a done user interface element. To prevent this during continuous delivery, the team should bake consistency into their process by updating their definition of done, DoD. By adding items like adheres to UI guidelines or undergoes design review to the DoD, every feature increment is then checked against these standards before it's considered complete and releasable. This proactive approach ensures that consistency is built in from the start of each development cycle, leading to a more cohesive user experience with every delivery. Question 19. A traditional project is in its execution phase, and the project manager reviews the latest performance reports. The cost variance, CV, is negative, and the schedule variance, SV, is also negative. The project sponsor is primarily concerned with the total budget remaining and the estimated completion date. Which forecast is most relevant for the project manager to provide to the sponsor for the delivery? A. Budget at completion, BAC. B. Estimate at completion, EAC. C. Estimate to complete, ETC. D. Variance at completion, VAC. Answer: B. Estimate at completion, EAC. When a project is behind schedule and over budget, indicated by negative CV and SV, and the sponsor's primary concern is the final cost and completion date, the estimate at completion, EAC, is the most relevant forecast. EAC represents the project manager's revised projection of the total cost at which all authorized scope will be completed. It provides a real-world, updated prediction of the total financial outlay required to deliver the project, considering past performance and future estimates. This metric directly addresses the sponsor's concern about the overall budget remaining and is essential for making informed decisions about the project's future. Question 20. A project team is preparing for the final delivery of a major software application to the client. During the acceptance testing phase, the client identifies a critical defect that impacts a core business function. Fixing this defect would require significant rework and potentially delay the agreed-upon delivery date. What is the project manager's most appropriate action? A. Document the defect as a known issue and proceed with the planned delivery, with a commitment to fix it in a post-delivery patch. B. Stop all activities and immediately direct the team to fix the defect, regardless of the schedule impact. C. Convene a meeting with the client and key project stakeholders to discuss the defect, its impact, and potential resolution options and trade-offs. D. Decline to fix the defect, citing that the deliverable already passed internal quality gates. Answer: C. Convene a meeting with the client and key project stakeholders to discuss the defect, its impact, and potential resolution options and trade-offs. When a critical defect is found during final acceptance testing, the project manager should not unilaterally decide how to proceed. Instead, the most appropriate action is to immediately engage the client and key project stakeholders. This meeting allows for a transparent discussion of the defect's nature, its business impact, the estimated effort and time to fix it, and the resulting trade-offs, example delaying delivery versus delivering with a known critical issue. Collaboratively discussing resolution options ensures that an informed decision is made that aligns with the client's priorities and manages expectations regarding the final delivery. Question 21. An Agile team is finding it difficult to consistently deliver, potentially shippable increments, at the end of each sprint. The integration of different components often fails, and testing often spills over into subsequent sprints. This impacts the predictability of their delivery. What key practice is likely missing or weakly implemented in their delivery process? A. Regular stakeholder engagement. B. Continuous integration and frequent automated testing. C. Detailed upfront requirements gathering. D. Strict adherence to a fixed project budget. Answer: B. Continuous integration and frequent automated testing. The ability to deliver potentially shippable increments consistently is a cornerstone of Agile delivery, indicating that the product is always in a releasable state. When integration failures and testing overflows are common, it points to a lack of continuous integration, CI, and insufficient automated testing. CI ensures that code changes from different developers are frequently merged and validated against the entire system, catching integration issues early. Automated testing, performed continuously, provides immediate feedback on quality and helps prevent regressions. Implementing these practices strengthens the team's ability to consistently deliver high-quality, integrated increments. Question 22. A project is using a Kanban system to manage its workflow. The team has established work in progress, WIP, limits for each column, example, ready, developing, testing, done. Over the past week, the developing column has consistently hit its WIP limit, while testing has capacity. This indicates a bottleneck. What is the most effective way for the team to improve their delivery flow and throughput? A. Increase the WIP limit for the developing column to allow more tasks to be started. B. Pull tasks from the developing column into testing even if they are not fully complete. C. Encourage team members in developing to help pull tasks from the ready column to keep busy. D. Shift focus and have some team members from developing assist with testing tasks. Answer: D. Shift focus and have some team members from developing assist with testing tasks. The core principle of Kanban is to optimize flow and avoid bottlenecks, which are clearly indicated when a column consistently hits its WIP limit while downstream columns have capacity. When developing is full and testing has room, it means the development work is outpacing testing. The most effective way to improve flow is to swarm the bottleneck. Rather than starting more new work, which would only exacerbate the problem, team members currently in developing should shift their focus and assist with tasks in testing until the bottleneck is cleared. This ensures work moves swiftly through the entire system, increasing overall throughput and delivery efficiency. Question 23. A project is suffering from frequent scope creep requests from a vocal minority of stakeholders, which is causing constant rework and delays in delivering planned features. The project manager has tried to manage these requests through formal change control, but the process is seen as too slow and rigid by these stakeholders. What proactive measure could the project manager implement to improve delivery predictability while still managing stakeholder expectations? A. Inform the stakeholders that no further changes will be accepted once the project scope is baselined. B. Establish a structured backlog grooming process involving all key stakeholders to prioritize and sequence upcoming work. C. Redirect all change requests to the project sponsor for direct approval or rejection. D. Implement a fast-track change approval process for all minor scope adjustments. Answer: B. Establish a structured backlog grooming process involving all key stakeholders to prioritize and sequence upcoming work. Frequent, unmanaged scope creep severely impacts a project's ability to deliver predictably. While strict change control is important, it can feel restrictive. A more proactive and collaborative approach, especially in contexts that could benefit from some agility, is to establish a structured backlog grooming process. By involving key stakeholders, including the vocal minority, in regular sessions to prioritize, refine, and sequence all upcoming work, including new requests, the project manager can gain alignment, manage expectations, and ensure that only the most valuable items enter the delivery pipeline. This transforms random requests into a managed, prioritized flow, improving delivery predictability and stakeholder satisfaction. Question 24. A project manager is leading a complex, high-risk project and wants to ensure that potential issues are identified and addressed early to maintain delivery schedule and quality. The team has identified several high-priority risks. What key activity, related to delivery, should be continuously performed throughout the project execution to mitigate these risks? A. Regular risk reassessments and updating of the risk register. B. Development of detailed contingency plans for every identified risk. C. Implementation of risk response plans and monitoring their effectiveness. D. Communication of risk status to all stakeholders during weekly meetings. Answer: C. Implementation of risk response plans and monitoring their effectiveness. While risk identification and planning are crucial, the delivery performance domain is fundamentally about executing the work. For high-priority risks, it's not enough to just identify them or plan responses. The most critical activity during execution is the continuous implementation of the planned risk response plans. This means actively putting the mitigation strategies into action and then monitoring their effectiveness to ensure they are indeed reducing the probability or impact of the risks. This proactive execution of risk responses is vital for preventing issues from derailing project delivery and for maintaining control over the schedule and quality. Question 25. An internal IT project aims to upgrade an outdated server infrastructure. During the execution phase, the team encounters unexpected compatibility issues with several legacy applications that were not identified during planning. Resolving these issues requires significant unplanned effort. What is the project manager's most critical action regarding the project's delivery performance? A. Document the issues as lessons learned for future projects and continue with the original plan. B. Immediately escalate the issue to the project sponsor for a decision on whether to proceed. C. Analyze the impact of the compatibility issues on the project's scope, schedule, and cost baselines and develop options. D. Direct the team to find a quick workaround solution to avoid any schedule delays. Answer: C. Analyze the impact of the compatibility issues on the project's scope, schedule, and cost baselines and develop options. Encountering significant unexpected issues during execution, like unforeseen compatibility problems, directly impacts the project's ability to deliver against its established baselines. The project manager's most critical action is not to simply document or escalate prematurely, but to thoroughly analyze the impact of these issues on the project's scope, schedule, and cost baselines. This analysis involves understanding the extent of the problem, the effort required for resolution, and then developing viable options, example rescoping, adjusting schedule, requesting more budget, to present to stakeholders. This systematic approach ensures informed decision-making and allows for proper management of the project's delivery trajectory.